What's good? It's your boy Pack-a-Punch here, ready to break down or go over another recent chapter of Black Clover. If you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content, of course, hit that subscribe button as well, because it will really help out. So, Black Clover, Chapter 312. Make it home alive. Starts up as Yuno delivers the final slash through Zenon. And as we see from the start of the chapter and first panel, Zenon and Yuno are actually reflecting or mirroring off of each other. And the panel is separated probably for this reason. Because between Zenon's on the left and Yuno is on the right. And what precedes in the next panel describes that Zenon says that Yuno and himself are alike. And as Zenon's body is dismembered in midair, he asks Yuno what makes us different. Yuno says, "Don't ask me, I'm not there yet myself. I still haven't completed the vow I made with that guy," which is Asta, of course. And as Zenon is disintegrating, he remembered his best friend Alan, who is a complete mirror to Asta, and the vow he made to become the commander-in-chief of the Spade Kingdom. Actually, it's both of their vows that they made to each other. I think the whole story and the battle with Zenon and Yuno forever changed his life, and I mean Yuno's. Not only that, this Spade arc once again focuses on family ties. Noelle, Nozzle freeing their mother's soul and defeating Megacula. Accepting a Spade grimoire and a true part of himself that both represents his legitimacy as a prince of the Spade Kingdom and himself. And I said before, this arc is strong on family, and Yuno had been dealt one of the worst blows. A blow that has hurt his Golden Dawn family, and he is, as the vice captain, is taking responsibility and taking accountability regarding that, and he acts to avenge them. He avenged them after this battle. So continuing on, this Spade arc is not even done yet, and yet these battles are written really, really well. So I can't wait to see what's in store, especially in the future when we see some more most likely bad things happen. So as Zenon's defeated and Notch informs Asta of his defeat, and Asta's actually smiling and probably Asta is hyped and impressed because he got that little sweaty smile. He's like, damn, just defeated Zenon. He's like, that's my rival after all. But Notch has also some grave news. Despite that the Dark Triad being defeated, the Quill Fort is still advancing, which is kind of confusing because from the last time we saw, Dante couldn't control his body and he was about to battle Jack the last time we checked. But we don't have Jack with the group, so actually never mind. Actually, upon looking at Dante's defeat, he was defeated in his normal form. And the picture we got of Dante is the deformed body is defeated. So that means that Jack actually put the nail on the coffin and defeated Dante in his weird, uncontrolled, deformed form. As the Quill Fort is growing, Heart Kingdom's mages fire one. As Quill Fort is growing, the Heart Kingdom mages, the fire for one, and the other one that was afraid of Charmy is getting overwhelmed by the devils coming out the gates. And they are having a very tough time. They have scrapes and they have bruise marks all over their body, so it seems like they're being pushed to the brink. What's crazier is that what's even crazier, Kid Julius, the Wizard King of course, is panting and gassed from something enormous is about to emerge, and this is probably pointed to the other devils before Lucifero or Lucifero himself is coming out. So we go back to the Spade Kingdom and we see Dorothy's dream magic does nothing against Moros, the evil scientist of the Yami Kingdom, if you guys remember. Basically, Moros was a bad matchup for Dorothy because Moros' ability stems from able to affect intangible concepts, and Moros proceeds to kill Lotus, the Diamond King guy who Asta met in the dungeon in the beginning of the story. He's pretty much like a no-name guy. He's not too important to the story, but he's there regardless. And the reason why is because that guy Lotus betrayed him, because his family would basically won't survive if Lucifero is free. And Morris states he's just a messenger for Lucifero, and Lucifero kind of makes an appearance on Morris's forehead, where he has basically a jaw talking out of Morris's forehead, and he states that he's a responsible fellow unlike Dante. Actually, he states that he's a reasonable fellow unlike Dante, and he says that Megakyo seemed to think that he'd been foxed out and that devil made for a good lab rat. The second gate, and he stated that the second gate will open soon, and once it does, he'll be able to emerge. And he seems very excited on emerging and wreaking havoc upon the earth, or the world. I mean, Lucifer is a high-ranking devil. He is conjuring up some plans and using devils and people to achieve his goals. So Megacula saying earlier in the few chapters ahead, like, oh, not even Lucifer knows about this. Lucifer pretty much knows everything, man. He knows what goes on around him, and he's just literally testing out everything of the other devils and using them as lab rats, like he said. So continuing on, Morris explains that he modified the tree, and the Quill Fort tree, with his magic to advance the Quill Fort, and also he made it not need the requirements for the Dark Triad themselves. And he says he only needs Yami and Vengeance. And many of guys are probably wondering why he didn't do that before, because technically the Quill Fort wasn't out and his magic probably received a buff. I know many of you guys are probably wondering why didn't he just do that before, because technically he could have. But the Quill Fort wasn't really out at that moment. His magic probably received a huge buff and amp since the gates opened, like the Dark Triad. And also he did go and extract hella information from Lord Pika. So that's probably why, he learned a lot, he received massive amps, so maybe he learned something throughout that, because he did learn how to make the tree go faster by extracting the information. So it's not out of this realm for him not to even need the Dark Triad anymore. So back to the chapter. So Morris uses his modification magic to assemble the devils together and have them attack Lotus. As that's happening, gosh, Vanica, William, and Gray bust through the wall and smash the modified devil with William's giant bull Megazord. And they scream and shout, "We're here to pick you up, Captain Yami." Overall not a bad chapter. The chapter is basically ending off the battle with Zenon and Yuno. Primarily, this chapter is building on Yami and Vengeance's death and Lucifer emerging from the gates. And it's time for the rest of the Black Wolves to battle it out to save their captain. And my predictions for the foreseeable future, Morris is probably gonna be defeated, of course, but it's gonna be too late. And I think Lucifer was obviously gonna emerge. He's been talked about since the beginning of this arc, and Levy and Asta still have some unfinished business with their mother's killer. Now, I do believe, unfortunately, Yami and Vengeance will die, but I think what will happen is that Gray will bring back both captains. And similar to when she said gosh after he got stabbed in the chest by a big ass sword rock from Dante, because during that same battle with Asta and Dante, I believe it was mentioned that the nature of Gray magic isn't transformation. So it'll be great to use Graves magic in the same application as before. It would hold a test to her character doing it for the two captains, who are probably the most influential pieces in this story thus far. Well, that's my prediction on what may happen in the upcoming chapters. What do you think will happen next? Do you think Gray will save Yami and Vengeance's life? Will Morris be crushed by the Black Bull's Megazord? Will Lotus ever make it back to his family? Find out on the next chapter of Black Clover. But in all seriousness, guys, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel a lot. If you like this review and you like to see more reviews like this, man, you gotta subscribe. Anyways, you know the button that's right under the share and save button on YouTube. So just click that.